Hi folks, Dave for dbstechtalk, and today we are going to talk about Shozy, the Shozy Form 1.4s. I want to thank Linsoul for sending over the Shozy Form 1.4s for review. Do greatly appreciate it. Linsoul, you rock. Alright, so the Shozy Form 1.4s are the successor to the Form 1.1s, which I enjoyed but didn't love. They had a few little issues with them, a little bit too dark, and also had some weirdness with the upper mids and treble. But other than that, I really did like the Shozy Form 1.1s. Do the 1.4s improve on that? Well, they come in this really small nondescript box. It just says Shozy on it. And then when you open it, you can see a carrying case, and literally that is your unboxing experience. And it's kind of bizarre. You undo the case, which is actually quite nice. It's hard shell, says Shozy on it, really hard to see here on camera. And you get a bag of tips, which there's silicones and foams in there. Very nice. I mean, you get a ton of tips. And then you get your IEMs. You're good to go within like a minute of opening the package. You just plug and play. So you get biflange, single flange, and foam tips. Silicones come in the bis and singles. I like the biflange just because it helps with the sealing and the fit a little bit better for me. Didn't really notice any difference no matter what tip I used, as long as they were the stock tips. They all pretty much did the same thing. Foams did add just a little bit of body to thicken things up a little bit, but other than that, I didn't really notice a difference. I'm okay with any of the tips that fit, that are stocks. Shozy, good job on that. Normally I'm picky when it comes to tips, and I use stock tips with these. Alright, so they have a very snug, there we go, 2-pin, and they are red for right, which makes it nice so when you're plugging it back in. The IEM itself is a little small, but also somewhat on the chunky side, but it has just enough curves and in the right places to be comfortable. You get that wood grain. You have a nice big old port there, and I just find them to be beautiful to look at and extremely comfortable to wear. I have no complaints whatsoever about the build on them or the fit and comfort. I can wear these for hours. They are light and they just sit in my ear and disappear. Now, they do not seal very well. You are only probably going to block out less than 50% of outside noises. So isolation of outside noises is not very good at all for me, but you may have a different experience. Maybe they'll fit a little better in your ears. I found that the biflange did seal the best for me. Well, overall, just the beauty of the wood grain, and the little subtle bit of Shozy written there, and the nice cable with the ear hooks that are nice and loose. The cable is just like the 1.1 cable, and I just love that cable and do not have a problem with this one. It is straight and minds itself and does not twist and tangle up. And it's a very enjoyable and pleasing cable. The fit and comfort, as I said. Overall, I just really enjoy that. Now, for sound. The Shozy Form 1.4s have a very unique sound. And for the longest time, I couldn't figure out exactly what they reminded me of. They didn't really remind me too much of the original because the treble and the upper mids is fixed and it's not shouting in my ears, and they're not as dark as the original. And so I kept trying to place, what do these remind me of? And I was talking with Intuit Reviews one day, and he was like, they sound very analog. They sound very vinyl-ish. And I'm like, that's it. That's what they remind me of. They remind me of sitting with my grandpa and listening to records. They remind me of that sound that you get with an old turntable and speakers, and you just hear the crack. You don't get the crackling, obviously, because you're not listening to vinyl, but you have that warmer tone, that lushness, that romanticism sound that just kind of engages you, and it's never fatiguing. It's not boring, but it's not like super energetic. It's just kind of laid back, and you're just kind of like chilling. It's like I'm sitting in the living room listening to a record next to the fireplace. That's what these remind me of. It's like they're a very chill IEM, and I really enjoy them. So the bass is thick. It's got a nice big body to it. It has good depth to it, and it's not the most detailed, but it has really nice texture, and it has really nice just overall presentation. You get nice to it. I love the bass line. It's hard to explain because it's not like the most detailed, and you're not going to get the most finite, accurate details out of it, but it has good tone, good texture, and just an overall, just a fun sounding, warm, engaging bass. And then the mids have a warmth to them. They're pleasant. They're full, and it's like you're sitting there and you're listening to the vocalists and to the music. It's just surrounding you and just relaxing and chilling out. It has a tonality about it that's just rich and lush. Timbre is, for the most part, fairly accurate. Does have a little bit of artificial sound to it every now and then, especially when it comes to pianos. But for the most part, I do not have a problem with the tonality and timbre of the Shozy. Treble is laid back. It does have just enough air and energy in it to keep it engaging, but at times I do wish I had a little bit more. But it is a very non-fatiguing and smooth treble. Soundstage is on the somewhat intimate side, but it does a really good job of layering and depth and within and placement. So you can really tell where everybody is seated in the soundstage, and it does a nice job of being able to define depths and height, and you get a good sense of where everything is. It does sound a little cramped at times, and then on busier tracks or where there's a lot of different placements and movements, it will get a little confused and get a little muddied up. But for the most part, the soundstage is very pleasing. So I really do enjoy the Shozy Form 1.4. They are definitely an improvement over the 1.1, and it's like when I want to sit back and chill and listen to music with an IEM, I can just pop into Shozy Form 1.4s and be good to go. They play on basically anything. They don't take much power at all. And the Sony NWA105 works great with them. I love the way that the tone and the textures come through on it. And also it plays well on my Xduo Link dongle out of my phone. I really enjoy that. Plays great on the Pioneer XDP30R, and it just has a way of presenting that is non-fatiguing. It's smooth, it's clean, it's clear, and reminds me of sitting and listening to a turntable by a fireplace. Romantic and lush, smooth. And I love the Shozy Form 1.4s. Highly recommend them. It's been Dave with DBS Tech Talk. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Speaking of next video, somewhere on the screen is a subscription link, notification bell. If you haven't already, please check those off. And then check out the links down below for all kinds of information. How you can support the channel, what was used during the review process of the Shozy Form 1.4s. Thank you. Have yourself a great day. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.